The new record, Threat to Survival, for us it is very autobiographical. It's 11 songs with 11 scenarios, and a lot of those scenarios are based on my life, Zach's life, Eric and Barry's life. We didn't have any reservations with this record. We put, quite frankly, we put everything out there. We're known as a band that in past records, the subject matter has always been very heavy. And what I mean by that is certain subjects that most people wouldn't tackle or wouldn't address because maybe they couldn't handle it or because they felt like they weren't ready to do that. Talking specifically here from the artist's point of view. With us, I think we were at a level, not only with ourselves, but as musicians and as songwriters, we were ready to talk about a lot of different things that encompasses who Shinedown is, the people that we are, the places that we've been to, the situations that we've been involved in, and the fact that we're still here, and we live each and every day, one day at a time. But the basis of the record and the reason we named it Threat to Survival is because that is something for us. When you wake up in the morning and you go outside your house, there's a threat to survival. Just living in this world, although it be a very beautiful world and inspiring world, it can also be very brutal and it can also be very devastating. It's not a transparent album. It's very in your face.
I would say by far the most personal record we've ever written from a music standpoint and a lyrical standpoint. I think it's just, and it's the most us, I think.
Even with the playing, there's a vulnerability and an aggressiveness that's never been there before.
There's a difference in the playing even on this record because we took ourselves out of our own comfort zones. And lyrically, I think that we were just in a place where, and it may be a place and an age where we just felt like opening up more, and I felt like we had a lot of things going on, all of us, separately and together as a band. And I believe that kind of opened the floor to be as open and as honest as you could possibly be. And, and he did that and with his lyrics, and it's something that stands out on the record. I mean, even if we didn't tell you that it was a personal record, I think you could listen to it as a music lover and tell that it was very real and it was coming from a very personal place.
I think that when you limit yourself, you become a liability. What you see is what you get.
Yeah, it's always our own experiences or something.
We also don't shy away from the subject matter either, because it is at times can be things that most people don't want to talk about. But the fact of the matter is that those subjects are real and a lot of people go through them. We've actually been told by a lot of people, whether they've been fans or not even using the word fans, just whether if you've been there from day one with us or you're just finding out about us. We've had people directly come up to us and say, thank you for saying everything that I couldn't. But the fact that you said it, I can actually take a deep breath now. We take that very seriously. We've made a lot of mistakes in our lives and we're totally aware of it. And for some reason, we are still here. So there's got to be a reason for it. And as long as we're here and we have breath in our lungs, we'll continue to say what's on our mind.
We just put our mistakes on a record.
Yeah, basically.
I think that we're a band who tweets our fans and we tweet our lives, but I think we save those personal things for records. I think that we've never been a band that, like, if I'm having a bad day, I may say something bad or something like that, but it's never been like, I've never just put it all out there. And I'm the most social media person in our band, like the person who tweets the most and does the most Facebook and stuff. And I've still never just put all these things about my life out there because
the fact that we're having to say or that he's having to say when we tweet or when not talk, but when we tweet, it's still. I just see historians. Man, it's awesome. I
just see historians rolling over in their graves right now. The fact that I had to say tweet so I can.
Shakespeare done killed himself 6 more times.
So I can get to a demographic that's under a certain age. I have to say that because other than that,
they'll look at you with a blank stare. They'll look at you like you got 9 heads.
I can say I wrote a letter and they'd be like,
what the hell is that?
What letter?
What letter?
LMOP. But like I actually wrote a letter. Like write a letter. Why would you write? Why are there pens?
But with that, you have to also understand the way that our minds work is that we totally understand that that's the world that we are in today. And there's a great line in a movie called Moneyball where Brad Pitt says, "Adapt or die." And we chose to be in the music industry, and we chose to write songs for a living, and we wanted the whole world to hear them. And we're fine navigating through life. You know, we have each other. We actually love technology, but we do have to laugh sometimes because we came from a different school. But we also embrace the new school, and believe me, the younger generation, the youth, they teach us every single day. We are not the type of individuals that are closed-minded on any level. Like, for us, we constantly have our eyes and our ears open and our mouths shut until we know exactly what we want to say, and then we will speak. But I have a 7-year-old little boy who knows way more about the earth that we live in, like from a scientific point of view, than I do. He knows.
Very true.
It's crazy. I remember him coming up to me one day, and this was just in the last year, and he said, "Hey, Dad, did you know that?" What was it? He said, "Oh yeah, did you know that Jupiter is like the linebacker for the Earth?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And then he starts to describe all of these storms.
I remember that house that protect the Earth. Jupiter protects the Earth.
Jupiter protects the Earth.
Asteroids.
Yeah, but that's astonishing to me.
The fact that a 7-year-old knows what a linebacker is.
Yeah, I mean that in itself.
Embrace possession. If it was easier to shatter everything you ever mattered, but it's not because it's your obsession. Be a fighter.
We embrace social media. We don't embrace giving away too much, and we've never. I'm very proud of our band for never doing that. Other than a couple like instant grad tracks that you'll get like when we release the pre-order, and you'll get a couple things. We keep the record pretty tight. There's no audio that ever comes out. That's one thing we always make sure of. This record, we did post a couple of pictures of us in the studio, but like Amaryllis, we didn't do any of that.
Very, very minimalistic.
Yeah.
When you talk about certain commodities and you talk about certain organizations and certain companies that, let's just say, stream music, I understand that. And I also understand the point of view of downloading or the idea of just listening on certain sites. But if you connect with an audience and if you really, really connect with the world, I think there's a switch that goes off, no matter what you are of any age, that you will support that artist because they have tapped into something personally in you that they feel connected to you. I think there's got to be a respect between the audience and the artist. And what I mean by that is for us, we only have one boss. We've always said that. It just happens to be everyone in the audience. So there's always been a respect between us and the audience, whether they were there from the beginning or they're just finding out about who we are. And I think that's what's going to separate you apart from people in this industry is if you understand that. Once again, adapt or die. No, haven't played it yet.
We always like to say that it's coming. We've played many great shows. Kansas City, that same festival they were talking about with Dime.
Here's the way we look at it, man. Like, for us, it's really not about a perfect show. It's about the moment. It's about the experience. I don't really think it, you know what? If it's perfect, then it's like, all right, well, I guess we should quit. That's it. There it was. It was the perfect show. That's just absolutely no fun. There's nothing fun about that at all. Then you've completely lost the element of surprise. And that's the great thing about playing live is you never know what the hell is going to happen.
And I'm a savage. It's automatic. I got a way of making noise.
First time around it was at Kuwait and Iraq. We did it for the USO. We're getting ready to, when we leave Sweden, we are going into, because we're going to Japan for the very first time. But we're playing for soldiers over there, and that's in literally like 6 days, you know. But yes, we do play for our soldiers, for all the branches of the military. Kuwait in '05 was, and Iraq was a bit hairy. You know, you get off the plane and you get to the choppers, and you know, they hand you a vest, and you're like, oh, cool, and then you realize that it's a bulletproof vest, you know. I was really I remember that tour, I just kind of was like, I was neutral. I wasn't afraid, but I wasn't not afraid. I felt like, you know, we were on a mission ourselves because it was not a very good time in 05 between, you know, the United States and Iraq and what was going on in Kuwait and everything like that. But, you know, we were over there to give our soldiers a piece of home and to let them calm down for a minute, you know, and just and play for them. And that's exactly what we did. And it all went off very, very well. The thing that is bittersweet about that in a lot of ways is that you have so many email addresses and you have so many contacts and names and numbers, and they'll get back with you. You know, you find out a couple of years later, or, you know, even 3 or 4 years down the line, like somebody will reach out to someone at management or even you at a certain point, and they'll be like, do you remember this person? And it's like, yeah. And they were like, they died. They were killed. You know, that's tough, you know, but it happens.
Make it rain, so ring the bell. I know it all too well. Switchblade on the edge of your wrist.
Maybe we were sent, you know, for one. Sometimes I think about it like we continue on each and every day that we're here, but I always think about for some people, you know, maybe it was one specific night that they saw us play and it totally changed their mind about everything, and they might have not been living their life up until that moment, and then that's always been the goal for us when we walk on stage. Like, every single person in here, by the time you leave, you really should feel like you can do anything in the world. Like, there are no limits. You talked about, you know, earlier, you know, the limits. You know, there are no limits. Limits are liabilities. I want to cram as many people as we possibly can into wherever we play and like and just throw down. It's all good. I'm excited. You know what we'll do? We'll get a sled.
There you go.
We'll bring a sled on tour. We'll find some hills. And maybe we'll coin like a new thing with Shinedown. I said this earlier, like we should have like bring your boss to work day, you know, or bring your boss to Shinedown day. I like that
Bring
idea.
your sled to work.
Bring your sled to work day. That's what me and Zach are going to do. Look for that in the future.
Catching that right there?
It's that's the extra material. In the end,